Let's move on to the second part of the agenda, which is a message. And of course, I'm not a qualified master to give a message. So I'm just sharing 5 minutes of thoughts with you. That's all, because we can go to the music program. We talk every week, so we don't need a long lecture today. As we all know, last year was a totally different year. None of us in our lifetime have ever faced a pandemic like this. It has affected all of us in some form or the other. A lot of people lost their life. A lot of people are struggling to make a living. A lot of people have mental issues because they are sitting isolated, they lost the job. So it's a reality. You cannot get away from that reality. And naturally, it would trigger different types of emotions in our mind, which is natural. You cannot say that emotions should not come to our mind. It's beyond our control. But how do we respond to that emotions is completely in our hand. And that's what we wanted to do some introspection and look ahead. So when we look at 2020, it was a tough year. And thank God, at least we survived. And we are getting into 2021 with a hope. With this vaccination and everything, at least we are seeing some light. It brings us a lot of hope. So I'm pretty sure that this year will be very good and we all can look ahead. So at this time, friends, I was just reflecting on myself. Actually, one of my teacher used to tell us earlier how mechanically we are living our life. Typically, before this pandemic, I used to go to work every day. Morning, we pull the car out of the parking lot, just drive. What is the next moment? The next moment you realize that you are putting the car into the parking lot of your workplace. What happened in between? Typically, it just go like a flash. Why? Because we were completely in an autopilot mode. Look at our life. Imagine that we are coming to the last moment of our life, and just realizing that our life was completely a mechanical drive. What a tragedy it would be. So the occasions like New Year gives us an opportunity, especially this year after a big pandemic, just to look back and try to understand the purpose of our life. Why we are living, how we are living. Are we really happy, or are we putting conscious effort to make the life as conducive as possible, or are we just going with the flow? Every day it is a struggle. The same Monday, the same Friday, the same weekend, the same routines. Is that what our life is? This is the time we need to go back and look at and understand the purpose of our life. Luckily, our scriptures are very in detail. They tell us what exactly is the goals of our life. So I'll just enumerate that 4 goals of our life, and let's make sure that we are putting conscious effort to realize all these goals. The first goal described by our scriptures is known as artha, or security. Mind you, all of us need some security or the other. Don't think that the world is mithya, so you don't need securities. Absolutely not. Right now, we know that people who lost job, if they had some wealth, that would have been good. So our scriptures talks about 3 types of securities. One is the physical health. If you don't have the health, nothing else matters. So we need to put conscious effort to maintain our health, because if you don't give time for health, it will demand time from us. So that is the first thing. We need to focus on our physical health. Mental health is equally important. Second type of security called by our scriptures is wealth. Wealth is also important. Nobody is going to waive off your mortgage because you are spiritual. So you need wealth. So you need to employ dharmic means to collect wealth and increase wealth. If somebody gives you other type of advice, it's not practical. So we need to focus on our physical health. We need to focus on our mental health. And finally, we need to focus on our intellectual health, or which is the knowledge. Every year, we need to pursue knowledge, not just the spiritual knowledge. We need to make sure that we are up to date in our skills, because you might be seeing the jobs getting means eliminated. Changes are happening at workplace every day. So we need to make ourselves ready for a change before a change push on us. So let's enhance our skill set. Let's make sure that we are ready for that change. Let's keep our resume updated. Let's study all these new technologies or new advancement in your career and make sure that we are ready. So this is what is going to give you security. And this is typically represented by the three goddesses in our culture: Durga, Lakshmi, and Saraswati. Durga represents the well, means the health, whereas Lakshmi represents the wealth, and Lord Goddess Saraswati represents the knowledge. So this is the security. Now, is the security alone is good enough in our life? No. The scriptures say that you need happiness. We all know that the happiness comes within, but are we experiencing it? There are three types of happiness. The first type of happiness is when you engage with something, you get happiness. When you go for a movie, when you go to a restaurant, when you spend time with your family, etc., you get happiness. But are we creating moments to make us happy? Because this pandemic, everybody got an opportunity to stay at home. But are we engaging? Are we making our relationship active and engaging so that we can be happy from that relationship? It's not very expensive. It is not very difficult to find to make that happy moments. Just go for a drive. Just have a dinner together. Just spend some time, play a board game. All that is good enough to make some beautiful moments of happiness in our life. Then, of course, the larger level of happiness is finding a purpose and a meaning in your life. Those are secondary, but at least make conscious effort to be happy. If you think that you can be happy tomorrow, that tomorrow will not happen. If you cannot find happiness here and now, that tomorrow will not come. So, along with the securities, we need to pursue happiness. But in this pursuit of security and happiness, we need to make sure that we are not violating the righteousness. That is the third purpose or goal. Dharma. Because for making me happy, I cannot hurt other people. I cannot take the legitimate rights of other people. So any security and happiness path I follow, it should be under the constraint of this dharma or the righteousness. That is the third goal. And finally, if you want the ultimate security and happiness, there is no other way but to understand yourself. That's why you need to engage the study and practice of our scripture, which is eventually going to lead you to the ultimate Purushartha, which is moksha. So during this pandemic, let's try to understand that our life is not mechanical. It is not autopilot. You are not sleeping behind the wheel. Understand the purpose and meaning of our life and put conscious effort to seek wealth, which is physical, means the health, the wealth, and the knowledge. And we are doing something to make us happy, doing small, small moments of happiness, just smiling at your spouse, being with your children. So we are putting effort to make us happy, and in that process, other people also will be happy. And let's make sure that we are committed to dharma always. And finally, we are making sure that we are trying to find that higher purpose of life, which is the ultimate solution of everything. See, nothing is permanent. Who would have imagined that this situation comes to the entire world? Who would have imagined? So you think that you may have all the wealth health, and knowledge, that is not going to save you from everything. You need to understand yourself. You need to understand the higher purpose of life. And the solution is the study and the practice of scriptures. So at Project Self, we offer a lot of classes on all these front. And I request all of you to join our classes during this means this 2021. We are starting a varieties of classes. For example, for kids and teens, we have multiple yoga sessions, which is going to teach kids these essential life skills to face the life. So we have the yoga programs for the toddlers, the kids, and the teens. Along with the yoga program, we are starting a couple of new programs for the kids, because we are starting some tutoring program to increase their knowledge level, because that is also from comes under the Purusharthas. So the SAT preparation program is getting started. That is another program. Other than that, we are launching a new public speaking program for kids and teens. That is a highly researched program. So excited to start that soon. And finally, for the kids, we are starting a Vedic mathematics program also. And for adults, Gina conducts the weekly yoga and meditation program. So predominantly focusing on the meditative techniques. She is going to talk about means teach you pranayama and meditation. And this year, we are excited to start a lifestyle change yoga program, because a lot of people have been telling us that, okay, means it's a once in a week, but we need regular practices. So we are launching a new program called Suprabhat Yoga. It is from Monday to Friday. Every day morning, 30 minutes, you will get an opportunity to practice yoga with a live teacher. So the goal of this program is lifestyle change. So we'll launch that program on the day of Makar Sankranti, and year end it will culminate with a retreat. And so you can baseline yourself where you are now, and you can see where you are at the end of the year. So we are excited to start that program, and we will be launching a new Yoga Nidra program also along with this, because Yoga Nidra is a powerful practice which can help you to get relaxed. And on the scriptural side, we are continuing our study on Bhagavad Gita. The chapter 3 Karma Yoga discussion is going on. If you are not attending, please join that. That is a very important session. We are continuing our Atma Bodha discussion. And in March, we are planning to start Isha Upanishad. And the new program we are launching on the scriptural side is the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, which is the basic scripture or the ultimate scripture on all the meditative practices. So excited to get that started. So we are starting all these programs which will help you to pursue all the higher goals of life. So that's all. And I wish and hope that all of you are safe. And finally, I really want to thank all of you for your general support for Project Self. And I was pleasantly surprised and perplexed to see the number of donations we got in the last year. So it's so kind of you. Thank you very much for that. And that is helping us to continue this mission. So let's hope that the world will be controlling this pandemic and we all will have a normal life soon. But meanwhile, we will try to find the purpose of our life and pursue our goals of life. May you be blessed and may you be happy always.
Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.